Here they come, Harold and Hilda, ready to wish us off. Okay, let's not do this in an emotional way, yeah? Let's just be, yeah, okay. Let's make this brief. We won't get gushy. Yeah. Alright then, let's do this. Who's going to go first? Oh, you obviously. Okay. Bye. This really should be a vlog all about how not to narrowboat, because we're near the river. This whole winter the river has completely dominated all our plans. Yeah, perhaps avoiding rivers in the winter is a good thing. There's other things as well we've done wrong. I'll let you know as we go. But we're moving today. We're trying to get as far as we can before we hit the river, because we can't go on the river, and find a nice mooring spot until we can get on the river. We have been moored by the figure of 3 locks, named after the shape the river makes here. We're facing the wrong way, on purpose so we could better admire the view, but now I need to wind the boat in order to face the right way for our journey. I'm going to let the wind just take me round here, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to leave it to Mother Nature to turn the boat around. Partly wind, partly engine. This is our starting point today, but I'm not quite sure where we're going to end up. That was a bit of an obstacle, but I managed to swerve around it without hitting it, which is good. Always a plus sign. They made the 2 locks here bigger, but in 2020, in February, a massive storm, Storm Kiera, washed these locks nearly completely away, and they had to be rebuilt, and a lot of money was spent on rebuilding them. But on New Year's Day, when we were stuck in the floods up at Cromwell Nature Reserve, the River Calder came in here, and it looks like it's washed the towpath away. See where the river has come in. The river's over there. The river's over there. You can see where it's come in. It's washed this part of the bank away, but further down it's even worse. I mean, it's completely crumbled away. The great thing about Broadcut, which is this section of the Calder and Hebble that we're on, is it's a nice long riverless section. It's because this is not that busy, a waterway this time of year, and also because after you get off the Calder and Hebble there's the Rochdale Canal with its 91 locks, 92 locks. There isn't a fuel boat, and in the winter fuel boats are really important for boaters. You know, if you can't get to a marina, because they come out in all weather, mostly all weather, unless they're completely thickly iced in. And so I need a gas. The gas bottle, one of the gas bottles has gone. I need to get a gas. So really, being on a waterway that has a fuel boat, if you're not in a marina, is a really good thing to do in the winter. There's also a bow deck of bin bags on Alice Grace, so we're looking for a service point that has a rubbish disposal. This on the left hand side is Horbury Basin. It's a cute little basin. Horbury Bridge was the place that Sabin Baring-Gould wrote the hymn Onward Christian Soldiers. But he actually wrote 1,200 published works during his lifetime. There's a lovely little setup here of boats, I'll show you. This is a gorgeous boat family, all with identical paintwork and consisting of big narrowboat, little narrowboat and tiny baby butty boat. Oh look, it's Bob and Betty. Bob and Betty are on this stretch. The Cauldron Hebble may have been a risky choice for the winter, but it's such an interesting navigation, which is looking particularly beautiful today. I love this railway bridge. It's so beautiful, this bridge. This landscape of wetland and marsh was once dominated by collieries, as you can see on my map, and the coal would be loaded up onto orange barges and sent to Thornhill Power Station. Now we're coming into Broad Locks. There's two locks here called Broad Locks. Sure, this paddle's moving. Winding that one, and that one doesn't do, anything. But at least the gate paddles worked, so we could actually go down in that lock and start looking for some water, somewhere to empty the rubbish, a place to get gas, and somewhere to moor. I've just realised, because I've looked at the map, that there aren't actually bins here, so there isn't a waste and rubbish disposal. It's a water tap, which is good, so I need to try and solve that one. Then as we approach the water point, we have another shocking reminder of the New Year's Day floods. Oh my goodness, it's tipped on its side. That probably in the floods went up on the bank, and then as the water came back down again, it's tipped. I'm sure that's probably what's happened. That is so awful. That is the stuff of nightmares. This is the sort of thing that I lose sleep over. It was so bad here on New Year's Day that boats ended up in the car park, one in the lockkeeper's cottage garden and on the towpath. One boat has only just recently been craned back in. A lovely couple, Martin and Linda, told me that all you could see was water. And I think this is the reason why this cruiser has been tied to the water point. I think it's been rescued, and so it's much easier to tie it to the bollards. Tomorrow we are going to leave. We're going to go on the river. It's quite grey outside, so I'm going to try and put some colour into my cooking. Zephyr always comes out when I'm cooking. We use this. That's like a pumpkin from Pakistan. I bought this and other exciting delights when I visited Dewsbury Market last weekend. Go off to market, Zeph. We might find you some treats. Yeah. Oh! She picked up the pace then. You picked up the pace then, Zeph. Wow. Come on then, Zeph. Oh, a nice plate of biscuits there. Really lovely architecture here. Dewsbury has a rich history with its textile industry. The town was an early adopter of mass recycling, creating two types of yarn made from rags, shoddy and mungo. These made perfect jackets and blankets for soldiers. And here is the market. It is huge. Oh, she's got the pet shop. There's pet shop bit. There's been a market here since the 1300s. The plague stopped trading in 1583, but since its reopening in 1740, it's become one of the finest markets in the north. And the town hall here is a showpiece building symbolising the civic pride that the shoddy and mungo industry brought to the town. Right, Seth, let's have a look at the minster over here. The Minster of Dewsbury is in a spot where a huge Anglo-Saxon minster church stood in AD 980, and it is also the same church that the Bronte's father, Patrick Bronte, was a curate at. So I'm really going to do something so simple, but I'm going to try and get some nice flavours. Give it all a wash first. I find it really hard following recipes because I'm just not great with instructions anyway. So I like just making things up, and 9 out of 10 times it's a disaster, but 1 out of 10 times it's not. And then I've made something that is totally unique and that I cannot remember for the life of me how to make again, because I've just made it up as I've gone along. Sorry about the state of the dish around the outside. I know you can scrub those so they're really clean again, but I mean, that's a long time just scrubbing at a dish, and I think all that adds to the flavour if you keep a bit of it on the dish. So that's my philosophy. Why waste your time scrubbing a dish when you can be looking out the window at the birds? There's none out there at the moment. Well, they are out there, I'm just not noticing them, that's the difference. Now for the exciting bit. This window is a wall. I was staring at that earlier. Look at the colour of the stone crop. Isn't that beautiful? It's not all the pink colour yet. It's going there though, look. All on the top of this wall. White stone crop is really popular with all the nectar-loving creatures, as well as sending out its roots to keep the soil top quality and healthy. Sunburst lichen all over the top. And look at it. Look at the colour of it. It's unbelievable. This is a New Zealand cabbage tree, which I once mistook for a palm. And lots of you said it's a New Zealand cabbage tree. I'd never seen one, and now I'm up close to one. The New Zealand cabbage tree has so many uses, it's mind-blowing. It's extremely versatile and resistant, thriving in both flood and drought conditions, which explains why it's still looking really healthy today, even though it would have been underwater completely on New Year's Day here. And then here growing in the wall, tiny, dark purple heads of the grape hyacinth. The little flowers, looks like a little bunch of grapes. I'm going to get the spinach. Spring onion's going to come last. And then I've got nuts. I've got like pine nuts and some sunflower seeds. So I'm going to fry those up and make them crispy, the seeds. Taken my eye off the ball because my sister's just messaged me because she's found an injured pigeon and she doesn't know what to do, so I was just giving her some advice. It's really smoky in here now. Alright, so now I'm going to fry the spinach. Yeah, I'm going to fry the spinach up. We've got rice noodles in bouillon boiling. That they won't take long, they'll be ready in a minute. Is it going to be a 1 out of 10 success or one of the 9 out of 10 disasters? Let's try it. I'm trying to get a bit of everything on one forkful. A bit of spinach, a bit of noodle, a bit of the pumpkin. Let's try it. This mouse and another one, which will join it in a minute, are obviously really comfortable in this wall. So it must be somewhere where they regularly live. But again, it was underwater on New Year's Day. But what mice do is when they sense rising water, they move to more elevated areas. But they can actually tread water for 3 days and hold their breath for 3 minutes. This wall is more than stone on stone, its gaps are more than air. For if you look, you'll find a book of stories hidden there, gilded with the goblets of lichen on its spine. Its spores the print of sunburst tint, its sedums form each line. The plots are so absorbing and made of mites and mice that quash and quell each tricky spell cast by weather's vice. So when you walk this library, you'll never walk alone if you pay heed and start to read the pages of each stone.